Hey guys, welcome to the team training. I'm just going to wait for a second to see if anyone else is going to get on. Um, we are doing, if you guys got the email, I sent out a team newsletter earlier today. So if you are on my team, then you would have gotten it. But basically it outlines our back to basics trainings for the rest of the month. So last week we talked about the how, the why, how, and the what, and kind of just, we're returning back to basics, and we're kind of going back to the beginning, and trying to simplify a little bit. And if I had a Posh motto, it would probably be to just keep things simple, and to not to overthink things, because as easy it is to get sucked into all the awesome creativeness. Sometimes it's just better to just keep it simple, and to not stress about it. And it's really nice, especially if you are brand new, not to overthink things, because it's going to take you a little bit to get used to kind of come up with your style of doing things and to figure out what works best for you and your customers. Okay? So we are going back to basics this month. And so if you guys did not see last week's training, you definitely need to check that out. That one kind of just goes over our 3 steps on how to do things. So the why, how, what. And I'm not going to really go over it, other than it's a very easy, you pamper yourself, you share your experience with others, and then you basically make it simple to get and use, help build something that's perfect for them. Basically, love it, share it, sell it. Basically, build your business. So we're going to talk about pay plan today. So if you guys have not had a chance yet, be sure to check out, go ahead and open up that pay plan image that I posted on the regular team page. And I have done pay plan training specifically on this. So if you guys kind of want more, you can always go check out my YouTube channel for other trainings. I have done Zoom trainings where I'm actually where I'm showing you my screen, so it's a little bit maybe simpler to follow. But since we're doing Facebook Live and I cannot share my screen with you, I'm just going to go over pay plan basics, and have in another window if you can, or if you're on the computer, it's easier to do. If you're on the phone, then we're just going to talk about the different levels of the pay plan. So first of all, everyone that joins they start off as a protege, correct? So this is every single person is at protege when they first begin. Proteges start with a 20% commission rate. For those who are new and are trying to figure out what their discount is, your discount comes in the form of your commission every week. So it's kind of like a rebate, if you will. It's not a discount. It's not an immediate discount, but you will get that 20% back every Wednesday in your pay. So that is what your discount is. That is your weekly commission. So proteges start off at 20%. Once you reach, so if you guys are looking at the pay plan, you have the personal bonuses that are the blue columns, and then you have the team bonuses, downline bonuses, which are in the pink. You'll see it at the top, and then you have qualifications, and that's under the green columns. Okay, so your qualification for protege basically is you become a consultant, you get the starter kit. Okay, you get that discount right away, you get that commission right off the bat, so you don't have to wait for your starter kit to start sharing Posh. So that's really awesome. Once you sell $1,000 in lifetime sales, so the entire time you've been with Posh, once you hit 1,000 in personal sales, then you get 25% back as your weekly commission, and that is something that you will see that extra 5% back on the 10th of the month after you hit pink. That makes sense. So if say you promoted in February, then you're going to get that extra 5% on all of your February commissions on the 10th of March. Okay, that is also when you see your title change. And that's that's the other distinction that I'm going to talk about right now. So we have the protege and the pink, and we have those ranks, right? Proteges are for anybody that has under 1,000 in lifetime sales. Pink is for every single person that has hit 1,000 in lifetime sales. You will never, ever, ever lose your pink rank. Okay? So you will always receive at least 25% back once you hit pink. Now, there are two different things that you need to be aware of. There is your title, and then there is your rank. Your title is going to be the highest rank you have ever hit with Posh. Okay? And your rank is what you qualified for that month. You get paid on your rank and your team's title. So your rank, their title. Okay? This starts to get a little bit confusing if you are brand new and trying to figure out what's going on. So I just switched back and I'm seeing comments now. So yay, Sabrina, I'm glad you're watching on your new laptop. Okay, so you get paid on your rank, their title. Now, so this is where I think it kind of gets a little bit confusing for some people is they hit pink and they're like, I built my team, now what? And I want, when am I pink +1? How do I get to pink +1? And so I just want to, let's focus on pink +1, okay? So pink +1, in order to promote to pink +1, you need to have the qualifications that are in that green section. So you need to have $500 in personal volume that month. So within a month, this is what you need to have for your qualifications. 500 in personal volume, so everything that you sell, anything that you purchase, any sales under you, that's for you personally, that's 500, right? That equals 500. Your entire company volume, so every single person in your team, anyone that you've recruited, anyone that they've recruited, basically you're at the top and all the people below you, their totals, all of their totals, okay? That is your company volume. If that is more than 2,000, then you've hit that company volume qualification, and then now you're looking at qualified frontline. Now, qualified frontline, you need one qualified frontline to hit pink +1, and a qualified frontline is someone that you directly recruited, so one of your frontline consultants, so somebody that one of your team members that you recruited, that happens to also have $200 in that month. So that's what that means to be qualified. They have $200 in that month. So you could have one qualified frontline and hit pink +1. You could have 10 frontlines and only one qualify and hit pink +1. You just need to have that one qualified frontline, okay? Now, if you hit pink +1, that's awesome. That means you've promoted to pink +1. You're going to get those extra bonuses. So you're going to get that extra 1% bonus team bonus in addition to your frontline your downline bonuses. Okay. And then so there's 2% for proteges, 1% for pink, and 1% for pink +1s. And the way that you calculate this is this takes a bit of practice, but if you guys are looking at potentials and you want to kind of learn how to do your calculate your pay plan, this is something that can be done very easily. All you have to do is get a piece of paper and you're going to do some math. You're going to list all of your frontline. You're going to list what their title is. So again, the highest rank they have ever hit, regardless of whether they're maintaining or not. And then you're going to put what their entire team volume is. Okay, so for example, if you have a Susie Posh and a Polly Posh, Susie is protege. She has a team volume of 500. Polly is a pink and she has a volume of 500. Then you're going to get 2% for your protege, and then you're going to get 1% for your pink, okay? And I picked obviously very simple numbers, but this is for their entire team volume. So you don't have to go through every single person in your downline and look at their title and look at their team volume and calculate per person, because obviously that can get tedious as your business grows. All you have to do is look at your frontline, their title, and their total team volume. So you're looking at Sally Posh's entire team, you're looking at her title, and you're looking at her team volume, okay? And that's how you calculate your bonuses. So that's for everything, but I'm just focusing I'm focusing on the Pink Plus One numbers, okay? Now, promoting to Pink Plus One is absolutely amazing. Obviously, you get your Posh, you get your Posh points for it. You get your pin. You get your certificate. You get the very first time you get paid on your team. It's amazing, right? So what does that mean? What's next? Well, you need to be able to maintain that. Once you've hit a certain whatever rank that you've promoted to, you need to make sure that your team is and your business is sustainable to the point that you guys are able to maintain those numbers throughout every month, okay? And if you're not able to maintain, that's okay. There are ups and downs in this business, and so that's something that to keep in mind. But just because you hit Pink Plus one month doesn't mean that you are able to coast and expect to hit Pink Plus One every month. Because remember how I said you get paid on your rank and their title? You need to hit these qualifications every month, okay? That may seem daunting to you, and pretty, it can be really scary, especially if you're brand new. But I promise, if you guys are consistent and you are, working and, your business is continually growing and you're working your gears or whatever, it's going to be a lot easier to maintain than you might think, okay? So in order to promote to Pink Plus One, you need to have that 500 per month, 500 in that month, 2,000 in total company volume, and 1 qualified frontline. Now, in order to maintain every month, you have to have those same qualifications for that month, okay? So that's why it's very important if you are wanting to build a team with Posh, which I highly recommend that you do because it's one of the most rewarding things that you will do with your business. You need to be in touch with your team members, and not just the people you recruit, but people they recruit. You want to help everybody basically figure out how to run their businesses, because if they are able to succeed and if they're able to promote and to maintain and to to get their businesses running to where they have a good flow and understand what it is that they're doing with their business, then that in turn is going to help you with your business, and it's going to help you maintain, it's going to help you grow. So it's everybody wins, right? It's a win-win situation. So it's very important, again, if you're recruiting and if you want to build a team, then you want to make sure that you are helping your team members promote and helping them reach their goals. Just because if they're able to, like, you might think that since you're earning 2% on Protege on Pink Plus One, that you want to keep your recruits at Protege level, but that is so not. That is a very bad idea, because you want them to succeed. You want them to grow, because obviously as they get bigger and as they get higher in their rankings and as their business grows, yeah, they're going to promote and you're going to have less percentage, you're earning less of a percentage off of them, but their businesses are going to be so much bigger than a Protege's business. They're going to have great teams. They're going to be so much more. It's so much more fulfilling, guys. Like, the whole team thing is the best part of Posh, really. Yeah, so you want to see your team members succeed because it's great for everybody. So something to point out is that everybody wins, okay? So I'm not saying that anyone actually thinks this, but it's just one of those things that I remember when we were first learning about the pay plan, that you're like, wait, you get what? And you're trying, and we were trying to figure out, like, why are we getting a higher percentage on new people? But really, if you guys are doing the math, you want them to promote and you want them to rank up because their businesses are going to be bigger. You're going to calculate the percentage off of their number, a higher number for theirs, Plus, we're nice. We want people to succeed, right? We're not here to cut each other down. And what's great about our Posh family is that we are all here to help each other. So I really hope that you guys all have that, you guys have kind of figured that out with our atmosphere and the way that the culture that we very much work really hard to cultivate, where we all help each other out, regardless of whose team you're in, whether you're in your side, upline, downline, sideline, whatever. We are all here to help you. Some of my best Posh friends are not even. We're not even like. We're very distantly related. If you want to talk pay plan wise, we don't benefit with our pay, necessarily through pay plan to help each other out, but it's so much cooler. Plus, if they succeed, then I'm happy because they've got Posh out. It's going to be great for me. Everyone wins, right? Yeah, you guys are so true. You get less percentage, but you get more because they're selling more. Yeah, and their teams are going to be bigger. So yes, everybody wins. So so I just talked about Pink Plus 1. Pink Plus 2, same. If you look at the pay plan, personal volume is always the same. You always need to have 500 a month to qualify. Okay? To qualify, to maintain. So that's why we call it our team builder goal, because in order to earn off of your team, you need to always have 500 a month. So that is the bare minimum. If you want to be a team leader, that is a bare minimum you should be shooting for. Even if you're brand new and 500 seems a little out of reach, if you can kind of come up with ways that you can run your business so that you can get to that point where 500 every month is going to be something that you can do. Now, to put that in perspective, you really only need like 20 or 75 consistent customers that order, and I can't remember what the numbers are. I never remember what the numbers are. But like 75 customers that order, like, I don't remember, 3 to 4 times a year, and their order sizes aren't even that big. But it's a very, very doable thing. Like, you could name 75 people, but you need 75 customers to hit that 500 every month. So it's incredibly doable. You might think that's like super scary, but 75 is not that bad. And like I said, that's just like an average whatever, right? So if you can get more, way to go. But yeah, that is why we call it the team builder kind of goal, right? Now so Pink Plus 1, you need a company volume of 2,000 per month and 1 qualified. Pink Plus 2, you need 4,000 in company volume and 2 qualified. And then Pink Plus 3, you need 8,000 in company volume and 3 qualified frontline, okay? Now, one of the biggest things, so at what point do you have your own team? Okay, Heather, good question. So I'm actually, this is perfect timing for that. So these Pink Plus 1, Pink Plus 2, Pink Plus 3, these are obviously these are team leader positions, right? You have your team. But at this point, team and company for you are the exact same thing because you don't have a separate team below you. Everybody below you is your company and your team. So if you ever hear me talk about what you need for Pink Plus 1 through Pink Plus 3 and I say team volume, it's interchangeable with company volume. I go back and forth on that, so it might seem, so it might be a little bit confusing, especially if you're brand new. But okay. To the point, when you have a separate team versus company volume is once you hit the premier ranks, and that's the stuff at the bottom. So that's the premier, silver premier, gold premier, and platinum premier. So when you hit premier levels, premier ranks, then you have a separate team volume and a company volume. So if you look at that, for premier, so let's just talk about premier really quick. Premier, you need 6,000 per month as a team, and then 20,000 per month as company, as your company volume, and then 4 qualified frontline. What that means is that you need every single person under you, regardless of teams or whatever. If you have a premier under you or if not, any sales under you add up to that 20,000 per month company volume. Okay. Now the team volume comes into play if you have any premiers in your downline. If you have premiers in your downline, then that premier and everybody under her is now their own team. Okay? So if you think about this in a family tree, you're at the top, okay? And down here you have your premier. They've hit premier numbers. Now that means that they've kind of like graduated, they've gotten married, they have their own family, they've moved out, okay? So then they have their entire team, they've taken their entire team and they've moved out, they have their own house now. They come visit every so often, but they don't necessarily they don't necessarily need you to be feeding them every day, okay? Super weird analogy, but hopefully you guys will get this, okay? So, so that's me. So pretend that's me, okay? I'm at the top. I have my premier. She has her team, and they're doing really well. They've got their routine down. They're good. So they're off on their own, and they're their team. Okay. So now that means that to be premier, I need to have 6,000 outside of her team. Outside of her team in order to hit that premier. So that is if you have a premier under you. Okay. But if you have 6,000, you have a premier under you, and you have 30. It gets confusing, but that's what that team part is. And I can go more into the premier, silver premier stuff, because if you have a premier under you and you have 30,000 per month in company volume and then 6,000 outside of that premier, then you've actually just double promoted to silver. Okay, so it's a little bit, it can get super confusing. So all you need to know is that once you are a premier, you have your team now. Now you have your team now you have your team within my company, if that makes sense, okay? Jamie is explaining it too, so hopefully if you guys have questions on this, let me know, because I know it can be confusing and sometimes it's hard for me to explain it. So premiers when you would have your own team, but they are your team as soon as they join under you. Yeah, so your team is still everyone under you. The only time it's different is if you have like a premier who has now created their own team and then they've kind of moved out, if you will, right? But they're still in your company. Okay, so Jamie's example. So yeah, I'm Jamie's mom in Posh. and then Jamie's a silver premier, so her team is not my team, but her team is my company. Does that make sense to you? Okay, good, Heather. I was like, oh my gosh. I have to actually draw it out, so I will draw it out eventually, to show you guys how it works, and the little different little trees. So you're basically got a family tree, a giant family tree. It's me at the top, and then you have the different premiers with their family trees that are under me. But for the most part, most of you guys are still within my team. You guys aren't. There's no premier between you and me, right? What's the question? So you lose income from that premier and everyone below them? No. No, you don't lose the income from that premier. No. If you look at the premier ranks and the bonuses, the percentages that you can earn, you actually are earning off of your premiers starting at silver premier and above. So if you look at first gen, second gen, and third gen, that means your premier. So if you have your first gen premiers, so first generation premiers, so it's their first first premiers, and then if they have kids, right? And then that's second premiers, and then if there's a premier under there, then it's the third gen premiers. So you earn off of the premiers starting at silver. So your premiers in team volume. So you calculate that number off of team volume. So you don't lose that income unless you need to get to silver, but it's very common for a lot of people to if they have a premier under them to hit silver premier. Like I double promoted from pink +3 to silver premier. And Jamie did the same thing. So I mean, it's not as, yeah. So you're not losing it. It's not like they're gone. Like we're still family. Jamie comes and visits, Yeah. Yeah, see, Jamie's we visit. She just doesn't need me to cook her food anymore. Which, I'm not a great cook, so probably is a good thing. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so that means Shanae's, yeah, so Shanae's your grandma. Um, she's my mom, yeah. And we're all your kids, and our kids are your grandkids. Yeah! It's a funny analogy, but it works, right? So Shanae is my sponsor. So Shanae is all of your grandmas, and then I'm your mom, and then any of your team members are my grandkids. So I'm their grandma, right? So it kind of goes like that. So if you look at it like a family tree, it makes it's easier to understand. Yeah, Jamie went from pink plus 2 to silver. Yeah, and Jamie, yeah, Mama Simone. Yeah, that's super weird. I don't know how I like that. Which, Jamie, thanks for being on. I get tongue tied when I talk about pay plans because I totally know what I'm talking about, and I can totally give you guys worksheets if you want, but it's kind of confusing to explain sometimes. Okay. Yeah, so Jamie, yeah, she has her own team page and she still belongs to the Posh Hearts. Okay, so the thing with the teams and like team name stuff is that you have your own team the second you're building. So you don't have to, there's no rule or anything having to do with picking team names, having to pick team names, needing to have a team page, doing team things. There's no there's nothing that surrounds it. There's no regulations or whatever. So, like some people have their team names early, and that's fine because that creates a sense of team unity for sure. But you don't necessarily have to do that. And then once you hit Premiere, then yeah, you can have your team page, and you can get your people moving over to a separate team page. Like my company, my Posh Hearts company wide. Anyone in my company can be in the Posh Hearts team, okay, or Posh Hearts group page, sorry. But some of the premiers have their team pages, and that's where they conduct their incentives, their trainings, however they want to run their team, they have their own team pages to do that. However, you don't necessarily, it's not like I kick you out. If you hit Premiere, it's not like I'm throwing you out of the house. It's all in due time. And once you get to that point, you're going to be more comfortable with it. So it seems scary, and I know like people have questions on, well, when do I need a team name? When do I need to do this? When do I need to do that? It's going to be more natural to you the more that you work with your team. And the biggest thing I want you guys to keep in mind is that working with your team and focusing on your personal business are the biggest things you need to focus on. The team name and all that stuff, that's just extra stuff, and that can be distracting to some people, especially if they get overwhelmed with everything. For example, I actually didn't even have a team name for a little while after I promoted to the Premier ranks. I actually didn't even have a team page until after I promoted. Like, I hung out in Shanae's page and helped her do things for a while before I felt comfortable enough to get onto my own team page. I didn't have a team name yet. It took a while. And that's okay because everyone's different. Some people know exactly what they want right off the bat. They know what their mission statement is. They know what their team mission is, right? And they're ready to go. However, if you are overwhelmed with the idea of thinking on a team leadership level, that's okay, because we're all here to help you. That's what we're here to help you guys with. We're here to help you guys get to that point where you feel comfortable enough to lead to run your teams the way that you want to run your teams. Jamie doesn't qualify for Posh Hearts incentives like a grown-up child doesn't get free toiletries and cleaning supplies from your mom. Well, sometimes you can go there and take them, right? I'm kidding. Whatever, Jamie, I love having you. And that's okay to not have a team name. I had one before I even had my first recruit 5 years ago, and then I just recently changed it. Yeah, there are no rules. Jamie she had her name like from the very first bit, and then recently changed it, and that's okay. The biggest thing I want you guys to focus on, if you guys are thinking about team names, is think about what's important to you. Think about what your team mission is, okay? number one, don't focus on how cute your logo is going to be or how cute your Posh name is going to be, right? Focus on what's important to you and your team and what you want. Like, what's your goal? What's your team goal, right? With the Posh Hearts, I'm really bad. I know I need to be better about this, but Posh Hearts came about because I thought Posh can be anything to anybody, right? It could be whatever you guys want, however much of your heart you want to put into it. So really, it's Posh your heart out, because you can do whatever you want with it. You can do part-time, you could do social, you could do full-time, pour your heart out into it, and whichever way you see fit. And that's how the Posh Hearts name came to be. I obviously need to be better about relaying that to some people, because Jamie and I, we did a leadership training a little while ago, months ago, and I honestly forgot why I named it the Posh Hearts team the Posh Hearts, and it took me like around the room like everyone else talking before I remembered what it was. So I need to be a better example of that, but really the most important thing for you guys to focus on is what's important to you, what's your goal, what's your personal goal, why are you here with Posh? And that's why we talk about your why Posh a lot, because that's something you're going to come back to a lot. That's when things are hard, you got to remember what it is why you're here, Oh, Jamie, it's so cool. I go to Shanae and see what incentive she's doing. I'm like, oh, I like that idea. I'm gonna do that. Okay, do you guys have any questions on the pay plan stuff? We kind of went off, but I think what I'm hearing is that you guys understand what's going on, right? So in terms of pay plan, the things you guys need to remember are you get paid on your rank and their title. Okay? So you need to get to the point where you are able to maintain those higher leadership ranks consistently. Because hitting Pink Plus one month and never hitting it ever again doesn't mean you get paid at Pink Plus One every month. You only get paid at Pink Plus One in the month that you hit all of the qualifications. Okay, and that, I know that can seem super discouraging, especially if you feel like you're working and you just don't know what else to do with your team. And everybody is different. Everyone has their own why Posh, and everyone's lives are different. So the thing that you need to remember as a leader is, because you're all leaders, you all are capable of being leaders, but something that you need to remember to keep doing is that you need to keep working. You need to keep working and building consistently. You can't just recruit 4 people and you're like, I'm done. I just need these guys to hit 200 every month, and and we'll have our qualified frontline and we'll be great. That's not how it's going to work. The best way for you to maintain and to grow is to continue to build. You want to build your team very wide as you possibly can. That's one reason why the monthly award is there for you. The monthly award, if you want to build your business quickly, or if you want to know how to build your business, look at the monthly award. The qualifications for the monthly award are there for you to get to these higher ranks. If you guys are not aware, there are 3 ways to get to the monthly award. Okay, so you can either have 2,000 in personal sales and 1 recruit in a month. So these are all per month numbers, right? 1,500 in sales and 2 recruits, or 1,000 in sales and 3 recruits. Now that's how you're going to earn the monthly award. When you hit the monthly award, you get awesome bonuses. So you get Posh points if you hit it consistently within our pay period, or our 6-month period, our Posh year, so from July through June, if you hit a certain amount of times, so the consistency, then you get extra cash bonuses. So it's incredibly awesome, a really great way for you to build. So if you guys just don't really know where to go from that, look at the monthly award. And I promise you, it's not as scary as you might think. It actually took me a very, very long time to earn my monthly award, my first monthly award, okay? It took me a while to figure out how to run this business, longer, I think, than some people, and especially a lot of the people that are starting now. It took me a while to kind of figure out how to do it, but once I hit the monthly award one time, it's like all that consistency and habits that I built up, I feel like helped me because I've been able to hit it consistently since then. So it's been very good for me. But that's one of my biggest tips to you, to promote and to maintain, is to build your team very wide. Okay? So kind of one of the tips that we first got when joining Posh, so like when Posh was baby Posh, was like recruit 10 people, teach them each to recruit 10 people, right? And then do it again. So recruit 10, got your 10, recruit 10 again, and keep going. For those who are still that are new and are like, I can't even get one, let alone 10, it really takes consistency and like just keep at it. People are watching. Okay, it's gonna take a time for people to trust whatever this is and to see whether or not you're gonna last. Okay, and yeah, everyone is still learning. It's not like I have it down. That's something that, like, let's just put that out there. Yeah, I'm doing great, but no, I need to do better. Okay, there's always room for improvement, and there's lots of things that I need to learn in my business as well, which is why I love talking to everyone else, because I'm always like, oh yeah, that's really good, I need to do that. Oh my gosh, that's really good, I need to do that. And I have, like, there's always more you can learn. So keep that in mind. Thanks, Jamie, for that reminder. But yeah, so totally lost my train of thought. Oh, recruit 10, teach your recruits to recruit 10 as well. So it really is about you building wide and deep. Okay, so if you ever hear us talk about building wide or building deep, that's what that means. It means that you're here and you've built your front line wide, and your front line have all built now too. So they're building deep. So you have your level. So you have your front line, you have your second, third, right? You have your family tree is getting deeper. You're getting roots, basically, right? But yeah, so my biggest thing is you guys got to keep recruiting. You got to keep building your personal business, and sometimes it's going to be tough. And that's what the last week of this month's pay plan, I'm sorry, not pay plan, Back to Basics training series is going to be on, is we're going to talk about the landscape of your business. And I've talked about this before, but I think it's important to talk about again because it's just, there's always ups and downs, and it's really just a matter of how you deal with them. Okay? Do you guys have any questions? Does that help? Does anyone have questions on how anything about the pay plan that I might have missed? Let me see if I'm missing any comments. Oh, I think we're good. Okay. Okay, good. I'm glad it's helping. But yeah, we have a lot of new people on our team, which is absolutely amazing. So if you guys are feeling, or we have people that have been around for some time and are still finding, are wanting more from, wanting to build or need to rebuild because the people that they had before, life got in the way and you need to rebuild. And that happens. That's why building wide is very important. But that's why reaching out to other Posh people is really going to help you. I will tell you guys this time and time again, but Posh got like exponentially better for me when I reached out to people and I didn't sit there by myself in solitude wondering if I was good enough, if I could do it, right? Reach out to people, whether it's someone, if it's your upline, if it's me, if it's someone on our team that you happen to click with. Talk to somebody about it because everyone deals with it. Everybody. Like, doesn't matter what rank, how long you've been around, everyone deals with it. Okay? Let's see. Does the pay plan break it down so when you do a fundraiser, it's easier to keep up with it separate? No. I think that is I think you're asking how it breaks down for fundraiser stuff, if I'm getting that correct. We do not have any policies, like strict policies on fundraisers. You as a consultant, it's up to you to decide what you're going to do with it. So it's basically your commission that you decide to donate. You don't have to donate all of it. It's up to you what you want to do. Yeah. It doesn't change the pay plan. So if you are a pink and you are doing fundraisers, then you are earning 25% commission. So you can give up to 25%. of your commission to whatever charity or whatever organization that you're raising funds for. It's up to you. Just keep in mind that depending on how you run the fundraiser, there are going to be some expenses involved. So you want to make sure that you are not losing money. Does that help? And I mean, if you guys are doing like donating a portion of sales for the month to donating a portion of commission for the month to a certain organization, you can do that. You just decide how much you want to put in. So you could have like an event on your online, on your website, an online event for, like proceeds go to whatever organization, and that organization gets 10% or something of whatever sales come from that event. That's one way to kind of do it as well. So if you're running multiple fundraisers, or if you're having fundraisers where you are directing people to your website, have them paste it in the event so you know where the funds should be going, if that helps. Okay. Do you guys have any other questions? I'm going to jump off in just a second here. Any other questions on pay plan, rankings, anything like that? Jamie, thank you so much for being on and helping. It helps a ton, and all of you guys are so awesome. You guys, I love the questions, and I love that you guys are like, just the feedback is great because it's hard to talk to nothing. So it's good to have you guys on live and to kind of and just get so I know what you guys have questions on. Yes, and that is very important too. Remember that you can be a Pink Plus 3, but if you don't get your 500 in PV that month, or your whole team doesn't do the 8,000 that month, you will not earn those bonuses. You will only earn what you work toward that month. Yes. Yes. I don't think I talked about this a whole lot, but if you're not getting 500 in every month, you're not earning. You're not gonna maintain your Pink Plus 1 or above rank for that month, which means you will not be earning off of your team. You will not get that extra bonus on your personal commission either. You need to have 500 in each month, which means you cannot build and then just sit there and expect money to come into your bank account. Okay, you cannot be a lazy leader that builds and then just sits around and doesn't sell. Okay, you actually have to continue to work and to build your business, which hopefully you guys are taking that as oh, good, because that means that the people above you, they're working for their commission. Like, I loved, when I first saw the pay plan, I loved it because I was like, great, that means the people I'm signing up under, and like, everyone in my upline, there's two, so not a lot. There's Shanae and then there's Leah. But I know that they are working hard for their commission, that they're not just earning off of me because I do well with numbers or whatever, right? So just know that we're all in the same boat. We are all working for the same thing. And yeah, so make sure you guys have that 500 in. Make sure your team volume is where it needs to be, and make sure that you're getting there qualified. It doesn't matter if you have all the right numbers, but no one in your team is working, or not working, but no one in your team is hitting that 200 qualified. Okay. So for fundraisers, you should tell them you will get 25% if you're a pink, or 20% if you're a protege. I wouldn't go higher than that because you don't know what your bonuses are sometimes. Yes, very true. I would not go more than 25% because you don't know. Even if you are consistently hitting Pink Plus 1, you have no idea what's going to happen that month. So you can't promise them 30% and then not hit Pink Plus 1, because what if you don't hit that and you only get 25%? Are you going to pay that 5% out of your pocket? Very good point, Jamie. Yeah, our upline is super tiny. So our family tree is very easy to read. It still baffles me when I see other people's family trees and they're like, upline, I like their premiere. I'm like, yeah, no, I know mine. And I know who they are, and I've hung out with them. It's all great. But, yeah, we just happen to be higher or closer to the top, home office. Okay, questions? We're gonna end this. So does anyone have any other questions before I get off? Okay, I don't see anything. hopefully this helps you guys out. It actually helps a lot, I think, to have you guys on, because you guys can ask the questions that you guys are asking. And it's really helpful to have this feedback so I know what I should be saying, and sometimes I forget things. Anyways, yeah. So I'm going to jump off. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. So special thanks to everyone who commented, because you guys, it's super helpful. It really is. Jamie, thanks for jumping on after your own training, because I know that's a lot. But yeah, it's super helpful. If you guys have any questions on PayPal stuff, if you guys want to work out, like actually work out problems, I'm happy to provide them to you. So that you guys can kind of get a feel for the PayPal, because it really does take practice, and it takes a while to get used to understand all the ins and outs of the PayPal. Yeah, and it really, like, it is one of those things that you have to live before you really understand, for sure. Because sometimes I still have questions. It's just one of those things that it's hard because different situations. Anyway, I'm gonna jump off, like I said, like 50 times already, but if you guys have questions, be sure to post on the team page, reach out to your sponsor or premier. We are all here for you. Yeah, and you guys can always keep questions in here if you guys have questions on this, and we can get to them later. But I will talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful night, and don't forget to check out the next week's training for Back to Basics. We are going to talk about sampling and really go back to basics on how you can sample, etc., etc. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a great night.